My name is Ryan Peter. I'm just here to talk about how I've been affected by substance abuse and mental health. I was approached a few months ago by a family friend, Karen, who put this on today, and she asked me if I wanted to tell my story in front of everybody. And I was thrilled and honored, but at the same time I was a little hesitant because I've never done this before, and the situation that I had when 10 months old was still very fresh. She asked me a few days ago if I wanted to do it, and I told her I would. It was like something that I need to do, and something that people should hear, and if I could just help one person, then I didn't ask for anything else. Stories about my younger brother. The name of Bryce. I'm going to do a little recap on us growing up and leading up to why I'm here today. So I had two younger brothers. I'm the oldest. It's Bryce was the second oldest, and then we have a young brother named Dylan. And when me and Bryce were growing up, we were really close. We had a lot. Did all that silly things together. We made up songs all the time and recorded our favorite movies almost every day to our family to sing. One time we sang Happy Birthday to our youngest brother every day for a whole year, and that drove our family crazy too. The one thing we did that sticks out the most though is I was just in grade 9, he was a couple years younger than me. And one of my dad's friends left his camcorder at our house, and we decided to take it and roam around the city and do a bunch of crazy things. We so much skateboarding and we made a smoke bomb and put it in a slide and smoked everybody out. And one time we went to my grandma's house and we snuck down into the basement and we hid and we turned the TV on real loud and we cranked the volume, and my grandpa kept coming up down the stairs wondering why the TV kept turning on, and we eventually he found us, and he told, I don't know why he said this, but he told us that he was going to throw dynamite at us. I don't know what he meant by that, but the one thing that we did that still gets talked about to this day was we printed off a bunch of $5 bills off Google Images, and then we went around the neighborhood looking for dog food, and we put it in the $5 bills, and we used to lay them on the ground, and then when people picking it up, we were really inspired by Jackass, obviously. And I think Bryce did, he was really good at it. He was, I got into skateboarding at a young age, and he copied me, and he was good, and then he was really good at soccer. He played travel soccer for years. He was forward to score goals, he was really good. He always came in first in track and field, cross country. He was actually, he did all city tournaments and stuff like that. Just before I hit grade 9, he picked up a guitar and started a band. He was good. He was pretty good for he was in high school and for the scene and stuff. You can see the pictures. He had a really good smile, so I think the band was more practical with the ladies like them. But yeah, so the band ended up breaking up, and he kind of noticed that his moods were changing and stuff, and he noticed that he wasn't coming home for his curfews, and he wasn't eating dinner with us anymore, and he was in his room a lot and stuff. And then one day my mom found what most moms don't want to find is a bag of weed in his room. And of course my mom asked him questions, and he had the famous line, holding it for somebody, and then we kept seeing the pattern. He kept finding it, he kept smelling it, he kept getting in trouble with my parents. And then one day he was brought home by the police. He was at a house party, and something happened where he had, a charge or something. It's been a while, I don't remember, but he didn't have to go to Brentwood and do a little something there, and a couple other things. And once he got out of there, he kind of just went back to, smoking weed all the time, it kind of, the behavior got worse actually, because he started taking money from, my wallet, my dad's wallet and stuff, and we started noticing things in the garage going missing, like weed whackers and stuff, and we were all kind of questioning, what was going on. And the thing that kind of was the last straw was my grandpa had passed away just around this time, and my dad and grandpa collected hockey cards all their life, so they had some really good and expensive ones. So after my grandpa passed, my dad took the good ones and put them in a safe in our house. And one day he went in that safe and it was empty. My brother had taken them out, and I sold the pawn shop for next to nothing. And that's the first time I see my dad upset, because usually the dad kind of the rocking kind. So I knew that was a big deal. And I made the family kind of make a decision if we wanted to, what we needed to do. So we sat them down and we told them that, you gotta clean up your act, we can help you, or, you gotta move to grandma's, you can't do this anymore. And, my grandma was close, it was like a 2-minute walk, it's very, very close. So he played the tough guy card and said, yeah, okay, I don't need you guys, and, packed up his bags and he left. And this was just after his 16th birthday. So we moved into my grandma's basement, and for the next 6 years, actually, he lived there for like 9 years. And the first 6 years, he, had a lot of friends over, caused a lot of problems at my grandma's house, and he was taking money from her, and medication, always asking my parents for money and stuff, which we later found out that he was buying drugs with. And, he was doing a lot of, bad stuff there. We caught him driving drunk all the time. One time he flipped the car 3 times in oncoming traffic with 2 of his buddies, which most people thought everyone was dead in there because the car was totaled, but actually they left with barely any scratches. I had a lot of resentment towards him the first couple of years he moved out, because I don't drink or do drugs or anything my whole life. And so I kind of seeing hurting family was kind of bothering me. But eventually, I kind of pushed it aside because I thought, in the end, he's my brother. So, we went back to kind of our old ways. But there was a period there where I always kind of felt a little resentment towards him. So yeah, the last 3 years, he started coming around a lot more and doing a lot of stuff for my family, kind of helping my dad with the order, my mom and stuff. And they'd pay him because every time he got a job, he couldn't keep it. He could never get up in the morning. He was always, around this time, he was drinking heavily. A lot of his friends told me he was drinking, to get drunk every day. And we noticed it, and, we knew it was a problem, but we just always wanted the best for him and never kind of accepted it. We could never work, so we always finding ways to make money. So he come and help my parents a lot and stuff. And then the past year, we noticed that, he was in a really toxic relationship with a girl. And that involved court dates and, restraining order, and he did a little stint in jail because of her. So this was really rough for him. And then we noticed a lot of his friends were gone, all the party people. They kind of just moved on. A lot of them got married, got good jobs, had kids. He was kind of left with like 1 or 2 other guys who also worked. Bryce was the only one that didn't, and he kind of saw everybody moving on. Our youngest brother just moved to Kitchener with a good job, and he just got engaged and stuff. And I think there was a lot of eye-opening things in the last year. And then this summer, on June 18th, which was Father's Day, my mom went there around 12 to go tell him to come and get his butt over to their house, because my brother, my youngest one, was getting married the weekend after this weekend. So, like the weekend next, and my dad and Bryce had planned to build a backdrop for the wedding. So she went there around 12, and a couple of his buddies there, they were drinking and smoking, and he was already pretty wasted, and just said, get your butt there, this and that. He said, yeah, no problem. And then my mom ran some errands, and Came back around 3-ish, just after 3, and he was passed out on the couch when my mom got there. And it was the middle of June, so it was hot. And she woke him up and he kind of grumbled a little. She said, listen, go inside, sleep it off, come over for dinner, we'll make you something, help your dad, go get some rest. And he kind of grunted saying, yeah, I'm fine, And so she left, and then we went there. Well, my mom noticed around 6 that he wasn't there still. So she drove over to my grandma's around the corner, and she pulled up to my grandma's place and walked into the slide door of the garage. And she noticed him on the floor. And there's a lot of times we found him on the floor, passed out, fell off the couch, and just passed out on the floor. So she walked in there, she walked up to him, she crouched down to go wake him up. And as she grabbed his arm, he was ice cold. And she thought that was a little strange. So she looked up at his face. And she noticed the white extension cord around his neck. My brother had hung himself. And it broke, and that's why he was on the floor. And from that moment, our family has nothing to say. I just couldn't imagine being a parent and raising somebody, and I'm finding them with a cord around their neck that's something no parent should ever go through. Later on, we learned a little bit from going to some meetings that he drank excessively, though we knew it was serious. We didn't know how serious, but he was self-medicating, the coping mechanism to kind of get him through the days. We noticed, like, he never asked for help, so technically that was the only really sign he gave us. Otherwise, he was always the part. He was always laughing, as you can see in the gestures. He was always laughing, he was always having a good time. You would have never guessed. And, I sat my family down shortly after he passed away. And I told him, I said, hey, do we even know anything about Bryce? And we kind of were all blown away that he was so closed up. We know the same stuff as you would read on a dating profile, the favorite sports teams, favorite food, stuff like that. He loved fishing. But we finally realized that he didn't open up to anybody. Even a lot of his best friends I talked to after he passed, and they said the same thing, and they just didn't notice it. But he never told anybody anything, never opened up to anybody. And so I think with the last year being kind of difficult for him, and the use of, the excessive use of alcohol, and we found cocaine in his system as well. That day, I found out that he'd been doing it a lot for the past year. I think accumulation of all that kind of did the eclipse and lined up and gave him very severe thoughts of suicide, and he acted on it. And my life has changed, mainly for the worse so far. There are some good things, like that's why I wanted to do the speech today, so I can do something good out of this tragedy. But there's a lot of bad. They say 115 people are affected by one person's suicide, and you can see that. There's a lot of things that I quit one of my jobs, and I don't see my friends anymore, and it's really hard to get out of the house. It's the constant golden question of suicide is why, and that's something that doesn't leave my head ever since June 18th. And the family's seen a therapist, and there's just a lot of heartache, and it's really a nightmare that we can't wake up from. The word pain doesn't do it justice. My brother passed, I finally knew what heartbreak meant, because when I found that he died, I could actually feel my heart breaking. And it's something that you can't explain, and you can't live, unless you live it, you don't know what it feels like. And I just want to end it with, if any of you guys are struggling with anything, with substance abuse or having thoughts of killing yourself and, anything like that, please talk to somebody. Anybody who's kidding with the health association, doing your amazing. There's hotlines to call. There's even a text, if you don't feel comfortable on the phone. Because I really wish the pain I feel on any one of you guys in the room right now. And I'm taking a lot of you to do this today. And I just want to thank you for listening. And if you guys have any questions or want to talk to me at all during your lunch break, when you be over there with the all the tables and booths are. So if you guys have anything to ask or anything, just let me know. You can come up to me. Thanks.